Hi, it's Patsy. So I've come on today to do another hashtag. It's one I've been trying to get on to do for the last couple of weeks, so I'm late coming to it. And it's the one from Simon at the Hermit's Cave. Hashtag Tarot Tubers A to Z Next Generation. So these were some interesting questions. So I thought, yeah, I'd like to do that one. But it was just getting the time to pop on to do it. So the first one is A for author. Now, I'm not a big reader now because of my eye issues. So nowadays, and since really 2018-19, the only time I really do reading is to do with my studies for tarot. You know, for I read an oracle when I need to read in the book. And like I've got the Vulcan witchcraft book, so I want to dig and delve into that, but I can only read short paragraphs at a time. I can't sit and read a whole book all in one, or even over a week or whatever. If I sat down with a book, it'll probably take me about 6 months. So I don't really read nowadays. I used to. I always loved reading, even as a little girl. I mean, as a child, I loved to read. Mrs. Pepperpot was a book I thoroughly enjoyed in the day. And the Laura Ingalls Wilder's, all the Little House on the Prairie books, I remember being enthralled with those and reading the whole collection of those when I was a teenager. So I love to read, but it's something I can't do now. I think the latest author that I used to read all the time before my eyes became bad was Catherine Cookson. I loved Catherine Cookson. And I would love to watch a TV series that we had made from her books, but I love to read her books too. I could get lost in a book and get it finished in 2 days. Loved her books. And it wasn't until a few years after I started reading her books, and I started doing my family history, that it come to light that I'm actually from, a part of me is from that area, Northumberland, Newcastle, Durham, all that area. My nan, Hilda, who I was really close to, her mother was from Newcastle, and her family for generations had come from that area. So that familiarity that I used to feel when reading those books must have come from that side of my heritage. It's really strange, isn't it, when you think about it, because I had no idea when I first started reading them. I knew my Gran Kate had an accent, but as a little girl, she died when I was only about 4. I didn't know that as a child, and nobody really spoke about it. So yeah, that was an interesting thing. But I did love Catherine Cookson books. So B, biggest regret. I try not to have regrets. I'm a true believer in the decisions we make open up the path that we go down, and it's no point going back and changing them. Because we would miss out on not only the bad stuff, you know, what we probably wish we could miss out on, but you miss out on the good parts too. So I try not to go back and have regrets. Nowadays, if somebody said, have you got a regret, I would probably say that I didn't know the truth about who I am and my parentage until I was 54 years old, nearly 55. I wish that that had come out a lot earlier, or I'd have known right from the start even. But yeah, that is something that is really my only regret, I should say. So C, car. What do you listen to the most? So I don't drive. When I am in the car, I'm usually in it with my husband and my children. So when we're driving anywhere, it's usually the children that put the music on. So it's kind of whatever they want to listen to that we listen to. So it's just up-to-date music that my sons or my daughter enjoy, and that's it. D, divination tool other than tarot. So that would be oracle. I love oracle cards just as much as I do tarot, and I have a huge collection of oracle cards, probably just as much, if not more, than tarot actually. So yeah, I would say oracle cards. Eat. What would you want to eat as your last meal? Now, I have a really sweet tooth. and I love any desserts that's a lemon flavour, especially lemon and cream sponge cakes and things like that. So I'd want that to be the last thing that I ate. Anything lemon, spongy, creamy, that sort of sweet, naughty, but nice. Fears. Do you have any? What are they, irrational or rational? I have a fear of large expanses of water. Now, I live within 5 minutes walk of the sea, but you won't catch me near the seafront, only on the sand well back from the sea. It's not something that I will paddle my feet in or take a swim in or anything like that. It scares the hell out of me. No idea why, it just does. Lakes, anything like that, anything what's got a large expanse of water, I'm terrified of. Not just for me, but if one of my children got near water, I was terrified. That must be something, I think, from a past life experience or something like that, because there's no real reason I should feel like that in this life, but I do, and it's something that really, really scares me. So G, favourite game to play. I love Scrabble. I love to play Scrabble, word games like that, board games, but Scrabble would be my favourite. Any other sort of games, I'm not a gamer or anything like that, so it would be good board games and it would be Scrabble. And I remember a game called Boggle when I was a teenager. I used to enjoy that too. Holiday, what's your favourite time of the year? So that would be Christmas or Yule. I think it's changed a lot since I was a young girl to nowadays, but it still has something about it. It still has that build-up is really special to me. It's like I say, it's not like it used to be, but it's still a time that I think people are kinder, people are friendlier, and times when families get together and spend time together. So that's the reason why I like it. But it's nice when you look back in the memories, isn't it? And all those childhood Christmases. I grew up in a huge family, and we always spent it all together, all over Christmas, going up to New Year. It was just like one long family party, and it was lovely. And I've got fond memories of them days, and that has always stayed with me. So Christmas Yule is my favourite. Interest is an interest someone might not know about you. Most of my interest is to do with tarot and spiritual kind of stuff, which most people would know about. But I also have a love of history. I've always been interested in history, Victorian and Georgian, that kind of period of time is something that is really interesting to me. And I love to watch a lot of the films and, series what are all set in that time, and reading and when I was able to over that time period of around that Victorian period. So it would be probably history. J, joy, something that brings you joy. My family. My family brings me joy. My children bring me joy. My grandchildren bring me joy. And my cards and that, that my interests and that, they all bring me joy. So when I'm able to do things that I like, that brings me joy. But the top of that list would be my children and grandchildren. What would you sing on karaoke night is Kay. No, you wouldn't want me to sing at karaoke, and I don't get up at karaoke. So no, karaoke isn't something I do. If I was forced to get up and do something, then I would probably do George Michael's Amazing, because I love George Michael, and that song Amazing I just love. And when we're at family parties and what have you, whenever that comes on, I'm there, straight on the dance floor, singing my head off, and love it. So yeah, if I had to, it would be George Michael's Amazing. K, oh no, I've done that one. L, what makes you laugh the most? Children, especially babies, and the things that they come out with, and when they start laughing, it's just infectious. It's just that infectious sound of, if I hear a giggling baby, I'm giggling alongside it. But some of the things that they come out with as well are just hysterical. I mean, some of the things my grandchildren have come out with over the years, they've got no filter, and they just say these things, and it's so refreshing and so lovely, and it's funny, and I just laugh. Movie, one you love and would watch over and over again. I'm not a huge movie watcher. Something that I only really watch around Christmas. Me and my daughter tend to have Christmas film afternoons to leading up. So if I had to watch one over and over again, or one what I would watch over and over again, is Love Actually. I absolutely love that film. I've probably seen it about 20, 30 times. But I'm not a big film watcher. Things like Downton Abbey, I can watch the series of those or the films of those over and over. I'm in this process now of watching the seasons of Downton Abbey from season 1 right through to the end. So I'm in the process of watching all those at the minute. But films, not so much. Nature. Where in nature do you feel most connected? Around trees, out in the countryside. I love trees. I love to see rolling hills, fields, crops, all of that. That just to me is where I love to be. I live, like I say, near the sea, 5 minutes the beach, and it's gorgeous, and I do like to go up there, but I really, really miss the scenery of the rolling fields and the trees and the woods and all that. Like, I really miss that. Optimistic. What are your hopes for the future? That people are nicer to each other. I've found over the years the divide between people, there's always something what's dividing people's opinions, and it's just releasing this culture of hate against each other and divide against each other, and I don't like that. And I'd love to see that disappear over the coming months. You know, I don't even want it to go into years. I just hope that there's a way that we can bring this unity back, and that there isn't such a huge divide amongst people, and you know, why people have to jump into arguments with hate just because they don't agree with something. It to me, just let people live and have their own beliefs. You don't, even if they're not yours, you don't have to allow it to divide and create hate. P for Pip decks. I haven't got a favourite because I haven't got Pip decks. Q, quality time. What do you consider being quality time spent? So quality time to me is spent doing the things and being with the people that I love. So that is quality time for me. Even just living is quality time. When you think about it, you know, when you got to my age, there's so many people who don't have that. And to me, that is also quality time. But it's being with people I love and doing the things that I enjoy to do. R, reincarnation. If you could be born in any time period, when would that be and why? That would be Victorian. As I said earlier, I'm fascinated with that period of time. I love to read about that, watch it. I'm sure I've had previous life there. I know that it was difficult for most people, but that would be something that would be the time that I would like to be reincarnated. S is sacred. What's sacred to you? My family, my children, and my memories. T for tarot, your current favourite deck. So my current favourite deck is the one that I'm working with a lot at the minute, is the Slavic Legends Tarot. This one. My lighting's a bit. I'm really loving this deck. I've not put it down since I got it. It's helping me connect to that side of me that I didn't know existed till a couple of months ago. And it's beautiful artwork, and it's just a gorgeous deck, and I'm really enjoying working with this and learning more and connecting more. And yeah, so that is my favourite tarot at the moment. So unforgettable moment. There's so many unforgettable moments. I think, you know, the obvious ones would be the birth of my children and marriages, and there's also sad unforgettable moments where the people I loved has passed away, and people I've lost, and memories like that. So there's so many unforgettable, but if I take myself away from all that, I think one of the unforgettable moments has to be what I found out these last 3 months about my parentage and what have you. That totally shook my world, and that has become and always will be an unforgettable moment, and not a particularly good unforgettable moment. but we have sad moments and we have good moments, and that is one that I will never forget. Vacation, favourite destination. I'm not one for travelling abroad. I haven't really travelled abroad. I've never really had this urge to travel abroad. I've always been quite happy to be a homebody, I suppose, but Cornwall would probably have to be my favourite holiday destination. I've been there a few times and I absolutely love Cornwall. So Looe Bay, Polperro, in that area I absolutely love. So I would say Cornwall. Wellbeing, what do you do to keep it in check? I take time out for myself if I need to. If I need to get away from the hustle and the bustle and the noise and everything, then I'll just take myself off for a little while. I try not to put too much thingy on myself, you know. I don't try to force myself to do something I don't want to do. I don't try to put these things away, so I have to do this by a certain time and things. I try not to pressure myself into doing things, and I try to accept myself and my limitations, which isn't always easy, but I try to, because I think if you don't, then that can kind of get out of things. It's like with my eyes and my skin out the eye, since I've got older, I can't wear makeup and I can't dye my hair anymore, so that is something I can't change. I could force myself to wear it and really suffer for doing it. I could really but I have to accept that I can't. And for my own well-being, I have to accept myself as what I am and who I am, and those crone years, what I'm now into, without worrying too much what other people think. So for me, what I had to do for my own well-being is kind of try not to worry too much what people think. What are we on next? X for X-ray. Have you ever broken a bone? Nope, never broken one. Touch wood. Lucky, but never broken one. Never want to, but touching wood here. Why? Yourself. When can you feel totally comfortable in your own skin? I don't think I ever can, not truly. I don't think I ever have. But if I had to choose a time when I'm probably nearest to it, is when I'm at home and when I'm with my children. Because to them I'm just mum, and my grandchildren I'm just nan, you know. So that is probably the times that I do. So the last one is Z Zodiac. What star sign are you, and do you feel a connection with it? So I'm a Taurus, and when you read of the Taurus traits and whatever, I can tick off many and say yes, yes, yes. But then there's some that I can go, no, that's not me. No, that's not. Greed and food, and that apparently is one of the traits. I'm not like that at all. I don't eat an awful lot. I love cake, but that's about it. But food-wise and what have you, I'm not particularly a big eater or greedy for food or anything like that. I've got food issues, if anything, and they're supposed to also be very materialistic, which I wouldn't say I am. So there we go. That is my A to Z, and I've enjoyed listening to everybody else's, and I hope you enjoyed listening to mine, and I will speak to you all soon. Thank you for watching. Bye.